you doing? Oh, my God.
The cold and dirty water hit Elena's face like someone slapped her hard. It wasn't just water. It had old food, thick oil, and a smell like something dead. The water was brown and gray with small bits in it. Her eyes started to burn when it touched them. She breathed in and smelled something like rotten eggs. It made her want to throw up. Elena's mother-in-law, Patricia Chen, was standing above her. She still held the plastic bowl that was dripping water. Patricia's nails were red like blood and very sharp. The sun from the big windows of the Los Angeles Country Club made her shiny bracelet sparkle on Elena's wet shirt. That bracelet looked more expensive than everything Elena had earned in 3 years. "Trash deserves trash," Patricia said calmly, like she was talking about the weather. "Dirty water for a girl who married a man too rich for her." At the table, Elena's husband Michael and his girlfriend Amber were laughing very hard. Amber laughed so much that champagne came out of her nose. It sounded gross, like an animal choking. Michael had his hand on Amber's leg. He didn't even try to hide it. The divorce papers he gave Elena 20 minutes ago were on the table like dead leaves. Elena's hands were shaking. Her thin cotton shirt was now wet. There was a small stain on it she had tried to hide with her hair. The cold water made her shake, even in the hot California sun. Old pieces of pasta were sliding down her neck. She wanted to wipe it off, but her arms felt too heavy. Her dad had died 4 days ago. The doctors said it was a heart attack, fast, peaceful, and nothing strange. She buried him yesterday in a cheap wooden box because that's all she could pay for. Her father, Robert Santos, was a janitor in an office building. He raised her alone after her mom left when Elena was 6. They lived in a small apartment in Koreatown with thin walls. You could hear everything your neighbors said. But Elena didn't know a big secret. Her dad had another name, Roberto Santiago Castellano. And this man owned most of Castellano Industries. That company controlled $49 billion in money. Enough money to buy anything, even governments. But how can a poor, wet woman learn that she now owns something that could change the world? What did her father keep hidden? And what can Elena do now, sitting in front of the richest people in Los Angeles, covered in dirty water, to hurt the ones who hurt her? People in the restaurant were trying not to look, but Elena felt their eyes anyway. A woman in yellow whispered to her friend. A man in a polo shirt shook his head. A young girl took a photo with her phone. Elena heard the quiet sound of the camera. Elena knew from before, poor people shouldn't fight back. If they do, rich people just hurt them more. So she sat still. Water dripped from her hair to her lap. Each drop felt like shame. "That's what I love about you, babe," Michael told Amber loudly. "You don't feel bad for losers." Elena was always too serious. She couldn't take a joke. Michael was never very handsome to Elena. He looked like one of those perfect faces in a magazine. Clean skin, good haircut, nice nose. But his eyes were empty, like a doll. When they met 3 years ago at a tech event, Elena was a waitress. He seemed nice and asked about her life. He made her feel special. That was the trick. The sweet poison. "Her dad just died," Amber said while giggling. Her laughs made her chest move. She wore a white short top that showed her flat belly and a shiny belly ring. "Her dad cleaned floors," Patricia said. She put the bowl down and cleaned her hands with a napkin like Elena's poor life might make her dirty. "He cleaned for 40 years. Do you know what that life is like? Always bending, always tired, smelling like bleach. He died with nothing. She will die with nothing too." The words should hurt. But Elena felt nothing. She had felt this way for months, since she knew Michael didn't love her, since she realized his mother only agreed to the marriage so Elena could clean the house for free. To them, she wasn't a person, just a maid. Her phone buzzed inside her purse, 3 times. Elena didn't check it. Maybe it was the hospital bills. Her father's last ride in the ambulance had cost $8,000. The emergency room cost $12,000. They couldn't save him. "You know what's funny?" Michael said. He pointed at the divorce papers. His nails were clean and perfect. "My lawyer made sure Elena has to pay me money because she stopped working to stay home." He made air quotes with his fingers. "Now she owes me. Isn't that funny?" Amber's eyes got big. "Wait, you can do that?" "In California, yes. If one person quits their job for the marriage, they have to pay the other." Michael smiled like a child breaking something on purpose. "Elena will give me $3,000 every month for 5 years. That's the deal." Elena did the math in her head. 3,000 a month. That's 36,000 a year. 180,000 total. She would never have that much. She would die in debt working many jobs just to survive. Michael would spend her money on vacations with Amber. "Oh my God, you're evil," Amber said, but she was smiling. Then she kissed Michael. Elena saw their tongues. The kiss was loud and gross. Patricia looked at Elena like a cat watching a mouse. "Aren't you going to speak, beg, cry, get angry like you always do?" "My father just died," Elena said in a low voice. Her throat hurt because of the dirty water. "So what? People die every day," Patricia said without care. Her bracelet made a noise as she moved her hand. "You're not special, Elena. Your sadness isn't special. Your dad was a janitor, a nobody, and you—" She moved closer. Elena could smell her sweet, expensive perfume. "You are even less than that." Now Elena's phone was ringing, not just buzzing. It was loud, even though it was inside her purse. Someone really wanted to talk to her. "Are you going to answer that?" Michael asked. "Is it your old work friend from catering? Maybe they want you to go back to serving food to rich people?" Without thinking, Elena picked up the phone from her bag. It was a cheap fake leather purse from Target. The phone's screen had a crack but still worked. The number calling was local, but she didn't know it. She answered. "Ms. Santos?" a woman said. Her voice was clear and professional. "This is Victoria Park from Park Morrison and Associates. I'm the lawyer handling your father Robert Santos's estate. I've been trying to contact you. We need you to come to our office as soon as possible. There are urgent matters about your inheritance." Elena didn't understand. The words felt strange. "My father didn't have anything," she said in a flat voice. "He lived in a small room. He cleaned floors. Maybe he left some debts." There was silence. Then the woman spoke more gently. "Ms. Santos, I can't explain everything on the phone, but your father's estate is big and needs legal action quickly. Can you come to our office in the next hour?" "How big?" A longer pause this time. "Big enough that you should not sign any legal papers before meeting with us. Have you been served divorce papers recently?" Elena looked at the documents on the table. Michael's name and today's date were on them. "Yes, about half an hour ago." "Don't sign anything," the lawyer said firmly. "Don't agree to anything. Come to us right away. The address is—" "I know where it is," Elena replied. That law firm was in a tall building downtown. She had worked at a party there once, giving expensive food to men in suits that cost more than her whole rent. "I'll come in an hour." She ended the call. The table was quiet. Michael looked less happy. Amber stopped laughing and now bit her lip. Patricia still looked calm, but her eyes looked more tight and worried. "What was that call?" Patricia asked. "I don't know," Elena said honestly. She didn't know what was happening, but something in her memory woke up. She remembered being 9 years old, sitting in their small kitchen while her father made eggs in their only pan. She had asked him why they never had vacations, why they always ate rice and beans, and why he worked so much but had no money. He put the pan down and knelt beside her. "Mija," he said gently, "we have something better than money. We have each other. And one day, you'll know why I live this way. But you have to trust me. Can you do that?" She nodded, even if she didn't understand. Then he hugged her tight. "Well," Michael said, sounding annoyed, "are you going to explain that phone call? Or just sit here making the furniture dirty?" Elena stood up. Water dripped from her clothes onto the shiny floor. A small puddle formed under her. The light from the chandelier above reflected in it. Everyone in the room was now watching her. Her cheap Walmart shoes made squeaky sounds on the wet floor. "I need to go," she said. "You need to sign these first," Michael said. He pushed the divorce papers toward her with a pen. "It's over. Just sign so we can move on." "I'll be back," Elena said. Her voice was stronger than before. "But first I need to talk to the lawyers about my father's estate." "Your father's estate?" Patricia said slowly, making fun of Elena. "Your father's estate? Are you serious? He cleaned floors. He had nothing. There is no estate. This is just another dream, like when you believed Michael loved you." Patricia's words were cold and mean, but she said them so easily, like it was just normal talk. "I'll be back," Elena said again. She walked toward the door, her wet clothes stuck to her body. A line of dirty water followed her as she walked. Behind her, she heard Amber whisper something to Michael. Then she heard Patricia breathe in sharply, ready to say something else. But Elena had already left. She pushed the big wooden doors and walked outside into the sunny Los Angeles afternoon. The sunlight was so bright it hurt her eyes. The air smelled like cars, hot streets, and flowers by the sidewalk. She stopped and took a deep breath, trying to understand what was going on in her life. Her phone buzzed again, a message from a number she didn't know. "Ms. Santos, this is Victoria Park. I've sent a car to pick you up from the Oakmont Country Club. Black Mercedes. It will be there in 5 minutes. Don't talk to anyone until you arrive." Elena looked at the message. A car? A black Mercedes? For her? She was dirty, wet, and had just been insulted in front of everyone. Nothing made sense. Exactly 5 minutes later, the black Mercedes arrived. The driver was a young black man in a nice black suit. He opened the door and didn't say anything about how Elena looked or smelled. Inside the car was clean and cool. The seats were leather, soft and expensive. A cold water bottle sat waiting for her. She got in. The door closed quietly. The driver started driving without a word. Elena sat in the cold air, still shaking, trying to understand this strange new world. When she had worked at that law office years ago, she only saw the kitchen and the front lobby. Now she was walking through beautiful halls filled with expensive paintings, famous artists she remembered from college before she dropped out to take care of her dad. The carpet was thick and soft. Everything smelled rich, like leather, paper, and money. Victoria Park's office was on the top floor. It was big, with windows showing all of Los Angeles. The view was so clear you could probably see the ocean. Victoria was younger than Elena expected, maybe 40. She was Korean-American, wore smart glasses and a blue suit that fit perfectly. Her desk was shiny black with only a few things on it, a leather folder and a thin laptop. "Ms. Santos," Victoria said, standing and shaking her hand. Her grip was strong and polite. If she noticed Elena's dirty clothes or hair, she didn't show it. "Please sit down. Would you like coffee, water, or maybe a change of clothes?" Elena felt tears coming. She didn't expect kindness. "Yes, please, clothes." Victoria pressed a button on her desk. "Marcus, can someone go to Nordstrom and get casual clothes for Ms. Santos? Size?" She looked at Elena. "6," Elena said softly. "Size 6. Comfortable clothes, jeans, a t-shirt, underwear, and shoes. What size?" 7.5. 7.5. Charge it to my personal account. Have it here in an hour. She smiled at Elena kindly. "While we wait, let me explain why I asked you to come." She opened the leather folder. Inside were many papers, organized by color tabs. Elena saw her father's name, Robert Santos, and another name, Roberto Santiago Castellano. "Your father," Victoria began, "was not who you thought." The words felt heavy in the air. "Your father's real name was Roberto Santiago Castellano. He was born in Mexico City. His father, your grandfather, was Eduardo Castellano. He started Castellano Industries in 1967. At first, it was a small business buying and selling goods, but Eduardo was very smart. He bought land, companies, and valuable ideas. When he died in 1995, his company owned things worth about $8 billion. Elena couldn't understand it. Her brain wasn't ready. She nodded slowly, but didn't really feel it. "Your father got the company when he was 28. He was very smart, maybe even smarter than his father. He grew the business. He invested in things like technology and medicine. Some choices seemed crazy, but later they were amazing. Netflix in 2001, Tesla in 2006, Bitcoin in 2011. He bought a lot each time and kept it." Victoria gave her a paper. It was a money report from 3 days ago. At the bottom, one big number was written, 49,237,158 and 392, $49,237,458,392. "That's not real?" Elena whispered. Her voice felt far away. "It is real," Victoria said. "Your father owned 73% of Castellano Industries. The rest is owned by big investors and family trusts. The company is private, not on the stock market. So most people don't know how much it's really worth." Elena kept looking at the number. It almost moved on the page. She tried to count the zeros, but got lost. "If my dad had this much money, why did we live in a tiny apartment? Why did he clean floors?" Victoria looked softer now. He left you a letter. Do you want to read it now or should I explain more first? Explain first. Okay. She took another paper. In 2003, your father married a woman named Melissa Harper. She was American from Chicago. You were born 9 months later, but 2 years after that, they separated. Your mother couldn't handle being rich. She started using cocaine, had affairs, and spent money like crazy. Your dad tried to help, but she didn't want help. She just wanted the rich life, not the responsibilities. Elena remembered small things about her mother: blonde hair, the smell of cigarettes, a drunk voice saying, "I'm leaving and not coming back," while 6-year-old Elena cried on the floor. Your father divorced her in 2009, Victoria said. He gave her $50 million so she would give up all rights to you and never contact you again. She agreed. Last we know, she lives in Dubai with a new name. $50 million. Her mother had taken that money and left. Elena had always thought her mom left because she wasn't good enough. After the divorce, your father did something strange. He left his public life. He gave control of the company to other people, put his shares in a trust, and disappeared. He came to Los Angeles with you. He changed both your names to Santos and got a job as a janitor. He didn't want you to grow up rich. He wanted you to have character, kindness, and strength. He wanted you to know how normal people live. So he wanted me to be poor, Elena said angrily. He let me suffer, even though he had billions. He wanted you to be real, Victoria replied calmly. He saw how money changed your mother and his family. He didn't want that for you. He made a big choice. Maybe it was hard, but he thought it was right. Elena's hands were tight fists on her lap, her nails pressed deep into her skin. Did he ever plan to tell me? Yes. He said to contact you on your 30th birthday and tell you everything. He wanted you to live 10 full adult years as a regular person before getting the money. But he died before your birthday, so the plan changed. We had to contact you right after his death. I'm 29, Elena said quietly. My birthday is in 3 months. I know. The room went quiet. Outside the window, the city was full of people living their lives, not knowing how Elena's life was changing inside this office. I want to read the letter, Elena said. Victoria pulled out an envelope. Elena's name was written on it in her father's perfect handwriting. Her hands shook as she opened it. Mija, if you are reading this, I am gone. Victoria has told you who I really was and who you are. You must be very angry, confused, hurt. Why did I let you grow up poor when I had so much money? Why did I make you wear old clothes and eat cheap food? Why did I let you feel left out when your friends had more than you? Because I loved you. Because I wanted you to grow strong. I grew up rich. Money fixed everything. I never faced the results of my actions because my father's money protected me. I saw my brother Carlos destroy his life with drugs. I saw my sister Anna marry 5 bad men because she never learned how to see people clearly. She only saw how they acted around our money. I didn't want that life for you. So I raised you the way I should have been raised. I watched you struggle, and it broke my heart. When you missed the school trip to Washington, D.C. and said you didn't want to go, I cried that night. When you worked 3 jobs to save for college, I wanted to write you a check for Harvard, but I didn't. Because those hard moments taught you things money can't buy. You learned kindness because you knew what it felt like to need help. You learned strength because you had to work hard for everything. You learned the value of honest work. Now, the money is yours. All $49 billion, but you're not the kind of person who grew up spoiled. You're better. You're stronger. You care about people. Use the money with care, Mija. Help others, but never let it change you. You are not your money. You are not your name. You are Elena Santos, the woman who helped the homeless, carried groceries for neighbors, cried at sad movies, and laughed at silly jokes. That woman is my proudest success, not the billions. You. I'm sorry I'm not there to help you now. I'm sorry for the pain, but I'm not sorry for how I raised you. I love you, always. Papa Elena read the letter 3 times. The first time, her tears made it hard to see. The second time, her hands were shaking. The third time, she read every word deeply and felt each sentence in her heart. He was right, she said at last, her voice rough. About Michael. About Patricia. They would never have treated me that way if they knew who I really was. No, Victoria agreed. They wouldn't have. They're waiting for me, at the club. They think I'm coming back to sign the divorce papers. Victoria gave her a small smile. Are you going? Elena looked at her dirty clothes. She still smelled like garbage water. She still felt the shame. No, I'm not. Good. Then let's talk about what you'll do next. 20 minutes later, Victoria's assistant Marcus came back with bags from Nordstrom. The clothes were perfect. Dark jeans that fit well, a soft gray shirt, a leather jacket, nice ankle boots, and even new underwear. There was also a small makeup bag. Elena went into Victoria's private bathroom. She took a shower with soft water and used sweet-smelling shampoo. She washed the dirt out of her hair and cleaned herself fully. When Elena looked in the mirror, she saw someone new. It wasn't just the clothes. It was the look in her eyes. Something had changed deep inside her. She was done being weak. Victoria was on the phone when Elena came back. She was talking about money and legal work. She raised a finger to say, "Wait." Elena sat down and waited quietly. Victoria hung up. "That was my law partner, James Morrison. He's the best divorce lawyer in California. He's looking at your case now." "I didn't hire him," Elena said. "You don't need to. He works with us, and your father's money pays for everything, so you're already covered." She pulled out more papers. "Here's the plan. We'll file for divorce because of cheating and lying. Michael married you while planning to leave you. He used you while having an affair. In California, that changes the divorce completely." "What does he get?" Elena asked. "Nothing," Victoria said firmly. "We'll show he lied. And if there's no prenuptial agreement, did you sign one?" "No." "Good. Then we'll say he tricked you into marriage. We'll show proof of his affair with Amber. That was the woman today?" "Yes." "We'll get witnesses. We'll look at his texts, emails, and calls. We'll show every lie. When we're done, he won't just get nothing. He'll owe you money for pain, lies, and more. James can explain the full legal stuff." Elena didn't feel joy or victory, just tiredness. "What about Patricia?" Victoria smiled. "Patricia Chen, age 64. She's on big boards, art museums, hospitals, music groups. She loves to show off." "She talks about it all the time," Elena said. "Those places get money from rich people, people who give millions, people like you." Elena looked surprised. "You mean if someone like you complains about Patricia's behavior, like throwing dirty water on a woman at a fancy club, they will listen. They might even remove her from the boards." "That's cruel," Elena said softly. "Is it? Or is it fair?" Victoria leaned back. "Your dad didn't raise you to be mean. But he didn't raise you to let people walk all over you either. There's a difference between being kind and being weak. Patricia has hurt people for years. Now it's her turn to feel small." Elena thought about Patricia's face when she threw the water, how happy she looked while humiliating her. "I want her to know what that feels like," Elena whispered. "To lose everything that makes you feel important." "Then we'll make sure she does." Victoria handed her a black credit card. "This card has $50 million on it. It's a temporary account until we set up everything. Use it for a hotel, food, clothes, travel. Don't go back to the apartment with Michael. Don't call him or Patricia. Only speak through lawyers." Elena held the card. It felt like a normal card, but it had the power of $50 million. "There's one more thing," Victoria said. Her tone became serious. "Your father's death. They say it was a heart attack, but we managed his health and money for 20 years. He never had heart issues. He died suddenly, 3 months before you were supposed to learn the truth." Elena felt cold. "You think someone killed him?" "I think the timing is strange. Before we tell anyone about your money, we must investigate. Some people might have wanted him dead, business rivals, or family members hoping for his money. We have to be smart." "So what should I do?" "For now, go back to the country club. Talk to Michael and his family. Give them the divorce papers. Let them know their lives are changing. But don't tell them everything yet. Just say you have a trust fund, maybe 10 million. Enough to change things, but not enough to make you a target. They'll find out later, right?" "Yes, but by then we'll know who we can trust, have protection in place, and answers about your father's death. For now, let them think you got lucky. They don't know you're one of the richest people in America." Elena stood up. Her new clothes felt strong and clean. She looked at her reflection in the glass window. She didn't see a victim anymore. She saw someone with power. "Let's do this," she said. The Oakmont Country Club was busy when Elena returned. Dinner was starting. White tablecloths had been replaced with black ones. Candles were lit. People in suits and fancy dresses filled the room. Elena walked in with her new clothes. Her boots made a clear clicking sound on the marble. People turned to look. They didn't recognize her right away. The woman in dirty clothes was gone. Now she looked like she belonged here. The hostess smiled. "Good evening. Do you have a reservation?" "I'm looking for the Chen party. They should still be here." "Yes, of course. Please follow me." They were right where she left them, but now they were in the bar. Michael and Amber were sitting close together on bar stools. Patricia was in a booth, talking to two other rich women who Elena knew from charity events, ladies who judged others for fun. Elena walked up to the bar. She stood quietly behind Michael and waited. He turned around, annoyed by someone standing too close. Then his face changed, fast, first confused, then shocked. "Elena?" Michael said. His voice was weak and shaking. Amber turned around too. Her eyes moved over Elena's clothes. "Oh my God, are those Louboutin boots?" They were. Elena didn't even ask the price. She only told Marcus her size, and he bought them. "We need to talk," Elena said. Her voice was calm and clear. She sounded confident. "About the divorce. I thought—" Michael looked at Patricia, then back at Elena. "Where did you get these clothes? What happened at the lawyer's office?" "Let's talk somewhere private," Elena said. She turned and walked toward a small meeting room inside the club. She didn't look back. She knew Michael would follow. The room was small and quiet. There was a wooden table, 8 chairs, and paintings of horses on the wall. A window showed the green golf course outside. Elena sat at the head of the table. Michael came in a moment later. Amber followed him. Patricia came last. Her 2 friends stood at the door, watching. "Close the door," Elena said to the 2 women. They looked at each other, then closed it. Now only 4 people were inside. "What is going on?" Michael asked loudly. He tried to sound angry, but he sounded nervous. "You disappear for hours. You come back dressed like this. You were supposed to sign the divorce papers." "No," Elena said calmly. "That's not how this works." She took an envelope from her jacket. Victoria had given it to her and told her exactly what to say. "I met my father's lawyers today," Elena said. "I learned that my father had a trust fund, a big one. He kept it secret because he wanted me to learn how to live without money. Now he's gone, and the money is mine." Michael's face changed. He started thinking fast. "How much money?" $10 million. The room went silent. "That's impossible," Patricia said sharply, but her voice was shaking. "Your father cleaned floors. Where would 10 million come from?" "He inherited it," Elena said simply, "from his family. He chose not to use it." 10 million, Amber whispered, staring at Elena in shock. "By law," Elena continued, reading from her notes, "money inherited during marriage belongs only to the person who inherited it. That means Michael gets none of it, but it does change our divorce." "How?" Michael asked tightly. Elena pushed the envelope toward him. "This is my offer. I'm filing for divorce because of cheating. I have proof of your affair with Amber for 8 months, messages, hotel bills, and witnesses." "We're in California," Michael said quickly. "We married in New York," Elena replied, "so we can file there, and in New York, cheating changes everything." She looked straight at him. "You get nothing. No alimony, no settlement. You keep your car and personal items. The apartment, furniture, and shared money come to me. If you agree, I won't sue you for lying and emotional harm." Michael's face turned red. "You can't do this. I filed for divorce." "You cheated on me," Elena said calmly. "You used me to run your home. Your mother treated me like a servant. You gave me divorce papers days after my father's funeral. You laughed while she poured dirty water on me." Her voice never shook. "You thought I was weak because I had nothing. Now I have something, and I will use it." "This is crazy," Patricia shouted. Her fists were tight. "We'll fight you. We'll get better lawyers." "You will lose," Elena said, looking directly at her. "And there's more. I have meetings with the Los Angeles Museum of Contemporary Art, Children's Hospital, and the Pacific Symphony. I plan to donate a lot of money, millions." Patricia froze. "But I only support organizations led by people with good values," Elena continued. People who treat others with respect, not people who use power to hurt others. Patricia's face went pale. You wouldn't. I already did, Elena said. The meetings are next week. I'm sure they'll want to hear how you act in public, how you treated me. That's blackmail, Patricia shouted. No, Elena said, standing up. It's consequences. She looked at all of them. You have 48 hours to accept my divorce terms. After that, we go to court. And when the judge and jury see the photos of you throwing dirty water on me at my father's funeral meal, when they hear how you treated me for 3 years, they won't be kind. Elena looked at Michael. You thought I had no value because I had no money. You used me and thought I was nothing. But my father was right. People are more than money. I had value before this money, and I still do now. The only difference is now I have power to make sure people like you face consequences. She walked to the door, then turned to Amber. Oh, and Amber? That apartment in the Hamptons Michael promised you? He doesn't own it. His mother does. And when Patricia loses her charity jobs and her high status, I don't think she'll be kind to the woman who helped ruin her son's marriage. Think carefully. Amber's face fell apart. Elena opened the door and walked away, leaving them behind, lost in their shock. The Hotel Victoria booked for Elena was on the top floor of the Peninsula Beverly Hills. Elena had never seen anything like it. 2 bedrooms, a big living room, and a bathtub as large as a small pool. Huge windows showed the lights of Los Angeles, glowing like stars on the ground. She should have felt proud. She had faced her abusers. She had stood up for herself. But instead, she felt tired, like finishing a long race, only to find out there's more to go. Her phone buzzed. A message from Victoria. How did it go? Elena replied. Like you said it would. They're shocked. Victoria. Good. Remember, this is not revenge. It's about consequences. Elena. My father would have said that too. Victoria. He was a wise man. Get some rest. We have work tomorrow. Elena put her phone down and walked to the window. She was now worth $49 billion, but only Victoria and her team knew. Still, she didn't feel rich. She felt raw, like her skin had been peeled away. Her feelings were stronger, her sadness deeper, her anger hotter. She picked up her phone and found her dad's number. It was still saved. She called, knowing it wouldn't connect. But she just wanted to hear his voice. You've reached Robert Santos. Leave a message. His voice was warm, casual, and full of love. Elena's throat tightened. Papa, she whispered after the beep. I met your lawyers today. I know everything. About the money, about your real name, and why you raised me like that. She wiped her tears. I'm so angry. You let me suffer when you could have helped, but I also understand. You were trying to make me strong, and you did. She took a deep breath. Michael and Patricia hurt me today, a lot, but I didn't break. I fought back, and I think that's because of you. Because you taught me that my worth is in who I am, not what I own. The voicemail ended. She was cut off. Elena stood at the window, crying quietly while the city lights blurred in her eyes. Tomorrow she would begin the real work, figuring out what to do with $49 billion. She'd also look into her father's death and protect herself. But tonight, she just allowed herself to feel, to cry, for her father, for her broken marriage, for the life she thought she had, which was now gone. 2 days later, Michael signed the divorce papers. He got nothing. No money, no property, no help. Just a signature to end their marriage. Victoria's law partner, James, had done everything right. Michael had no way to fight it. His cheating was well documented, and if he tried to argue, it would all go public. Patricia Chen quit all her charity board positions before Elena even went to her meetings. The news said she was spending more time with family. But everyone knew the truth. In Los Angeles, gossip travels fast. A woman who poured garbage water on a young widow was not welcome in high society anymore. But Elena didn't feel happy. She just felt tired. On the 3rd morning, Victoria called her. We need to talk about your father's death. Can you come to the office? Elena took a car. It was hers now, a black Range Rover provided by Victoria's security team. She was slowly getting used to having people take care of things. Drivers, assistants, lawyers, accountants. It should have felt good. But it didn't. It felt like she was living in someone else's life. Victoria's office looked the same, clean, fancy, and serious. But this time, two other people were waiting. One was a man in his 50s with silver hair and sharp eyes. The other was a young woman with dark skin and a nose ring. "Elena, this is Detective Marcus Ross from LAPD, Victoria said. "And this is Dr. Simone Okoro, the medical examiner who did your father's autopsy." Elena felt a wave of fear. "Autopsy?" "Yes," Dr. Okoro said kindly in a soft British accent. "It's normal when someone dies suddenly. But I wanted to talk to you because I found something unusual in your father's test results." "Unusual?" "Yes. He had a heart attack, but his blood showed very high potassium levels, much higher than normal, enough to cause a heart attack even in a healthy person." Elena felt like she was falling. "You mean someone poisoned him?" "It's possible," the doctor said. "Potassium is natural in the body, so it's hard to notice, but this level was 3 times too high. That doesn't happen naturally." Detective Ross leaned forward. "Elena, who saw your father before he died? Who knew where he lived? Who had a reason to hurt him?" Elena tried to think. "He lived alone. I visited him twice a week. He didn't have close friends. He liked to be alone." "What about people from his past?" Victoria asked. "Old business enemies? Family who wanted his money?" "I don't know anything about his old life. I only learned he had one 3 days ago." Detective Ross took out a folder. "We've started investigating. Your father had 3 siblings, 2 brothers and a sister. The sister, Anna Castellano, died in 2015, but the brothers are still alive. One brother, Carlos Castellano, is in prison in Texas for financial crimes. The other, Miguel Castellano, lives in Mexico City. He runs a small business worth about $50 million, not nearly as big as your father's company." "You think Miguel?" "We don't know yet," Ross said. "But we need to investigate. If your father was murdered, we must find out who did it and make sure you're safe." The word safe hit Elena hard. If someone had killed her father for money, they would expect the money to go to his family, his brothers. They didn't know about Elena. They didn't know a janitor's daughter was now going to inherit $49 billion. But one day, they would know. "What do I do?" Elena asked. Her voice was soft and unsure. "Let us handle the investigation," said Detective Ross. "You stay quiet. Don't tell anyone about your inheritance, and you need professional security, real bodyguards." "I've already called a top security firm," Victoria said. "They protect tech billionaires and royalty, very private and very good. They can send a team tomorrow." Elena thought about her father's letter. He didn't want her to live with this kind of danger. He'd kept the money hidden to protect her. "He was trying to keep me safe," she said. "He thought if no one knew, no one could hurt me." "He was probably right," Victoria agreed. "But now he's gone, and you're not poor anymore, so we protect you in new ways." Elena nodded. She felt like her body wasn't really hers. Just 3 days ago, she was mourning her father, struggling in a bad marriage. Now, she was a billionaire, with security, threats, and maybe even someone trying to kill her. "I want to find out who did this," she said, her voice stronger. "I want to know who killed my father." "We will," Ross said. "But you have to be patient. These things take time. Stay safe while we work." "How long will it take?" "Maybe weeks, maybe months." Elena stood. Her legs felt weak, but she stayed strong. "I'll wait, but I won't hide. My father taught me to be strong. I won't let his death change that." Victoria smiled. "Your father would be proud of you." The next morning, the security team arrived. 6 people, 4 men, 2 women, all ex-military, all trained to protect billionaires. Their leader was Sarah Chen, not related to Patricia. She had sharp eyes and a calm voice. "We'll be with you all the time," Sarah said. 2 guards stay with you, 2 guard your house, and 2 are always on standby. You'll have a panic button on your phone and a tracker in your clothes. If anything feels wrong, press the button. We'll be there right away." "This feels like too much," Elena said. "You're worth $49 billion, Sarah replied. "That makes you one of the richest people in the country. That also makes you a big target for kidnapping, blackmail, or worse. This isn't too much. This is the minimum." Elena let the words sink in. She was living in a world of danger now. "How long will I need this protection?" "For the rest of your life," Sarah said honestly. "Once people know who you are, You'll always need protection. Elena thought of her father, mopping floors, living quietly, shopping at cheap stores, no guards, no fear, just a normal life. He wanted to protect me from this, she said. That's why he kept me poor. He protected you for many years, Sarah said. But now we protect you, and we'll find who hurt him. The next 2 weeks changed Elena's life completely. Victoria's firm handled her money, setting up trusts, investments, and charities. James finished the divorce. Elena was no longer married to Michael. She never had to speak to him or Patricia again. The security team moved her into a new house in Bel Air, not a mansion, but safe, with cameras, strong doors, and a trusted housekeeper. Elena's days were now full of schedules, security checks, and planning. She didn't like it, but she knew it was necessary. Detective Ross called her often. They found Miguel Castellano in Mexico City. He was shocked to hear his brother was dead, and shocked that Elena inherited everything. But he had an alibi. He was at a conference in Singapore when the death happened. Carlos, the brother in prison, was also ruled out. He was locked up and couldn't do anything. So the killer was still unknown. Someone who knew Robert Santos was really Roberto Castellano, someone with motive, access, and secrets. 1 month later, Victoria asked Elena to meet again. "We need to talk about how you'll go public," Victoria said. "Right now, no one knows who you are, but that won't last. Reporters, business people, or someone doing research will find out. You need to be ready." "What do you mean?" "You must choose how people see you. As Robert Santos's daughter, the janitor's kid who got lucky, or as Roberto Castellano's heir, a businesswoman taking over the empire. The way you present yourself matters." Elena remembered her father's words. "You are not your money. You are not your last name." "I just want to be me, Elena Santos, not Castellano, just me." "That's brave," Victoria said, "but it won't be easy. People will still label you. You need to be prepared." "I'm ready." "Then here's the plan. In 3 months, we make the news public. That gives us time to finish the investigation, improve your security, and prepare everything. We'll release the news our way, on our terms." Elena agreed. She could wait 3 more months. As she walked out past her bodyguards, a painful truth hit her. Her father had spent 30 years keeping her away from this world. But in the end, he couldn't stop it. He died 3 months too early, and now she was living the life he tried to protect her from. Later in the car, Elena opened her dad's saved voicemail again. She pressed the button after the beep. "Papa," she said, "I'm trying to follow your lessons. I'm trying to stay true to who I am, but it's hard. People treat me differently. I hate how money changes everything." She watched the slow traffic outside. "But I'm not giving up. I started a charity for janitors, service workers, people like you. I'm helping students go to college. I'm building homes for people who need them." She paused. "I miss you so much. It hurts. And I'm angry you left me with all of this. But I understand now, and I'm grateful, because you made me strong." The voicemail ended. She wiped her tears and looked at Sarah in the front seat. "I'm ready to go home." "Yes, ma'am." Home. A place with cameras, guards, and locked doors. It didn't feel like home, but it was hers now, and she would learn how to live in it. 6 months after her father died, Detective Ross finally found something. Elena was in a business meeting at Castellano Industries, learning about the company her father had built. Sarah, her bodyguard, tapped her arm. "Ms. Santos, Detective Ross needs to speak with you. It's urgent." Elena left the room and took the call. "We found him," Ross said. "The man who killed your father." Elena's heart stopped. "Who?" "Thomas Brennan, your father's doctor. He took care of him for 15 years. He knew everything, his health, his house, his routine." "Why would his doctor kill him?" "Money. Brennan owed $5 million in gambling debt. Then someone offered him $10 million more if he made your father's death look natural, like a heart attack." Elena's voice shook. "Who paid him?" "That's the hard part. The money came from a company in the Cayman Islands, set up to hide the real source, but Brennan talked. He said the person who contacted him knew your father's secret, knew about Castellano Industries, knew about you." Elena felt ice in her chest. Someone close to him. "Yes, or someone in the company. We're looking at a small group of about 20 people who had access to that info. We'll find them." After the call, Elena sat alone. Someone had killed her father. Someone who knew everything. Someone who paid millions to make it happen. And they were still out there. She stood and looked out the window of the company her father had built. He had protected her for 30 years. Now it was her turn to protect his name and make sure the person who killed him faced justice.